When you finally correct all of the little issues in a scene, you'll get a kind of fast dialogue option. So when you're playing the day over again, you don't have to repeat all the minor things like the mini games and can just move past to the next part of the story that you're working on. You essentially go through each scene and have to figure out how to correct all the little problems and then move on. You get to replay the scene over and over again, but sometimes, like with Ned and the coffee machine, well, you have to go forwards to figure out how to fix things in the past. Basically, you have to go forward to go backwards. Man, I love time travel stories. You come to find out that your brother is so grumpy because he just can't get his coffee fix. The coffee machine in your house is broken, and so is the one in the cafe, but your father taught the waitress how to fix them. It seems it's a very fancy machine from another country, the only way to get a good cup of coffee. You ask her if she can teach you, and you launch into this cool little mini game yet again. This time it breaks up the story and has you blasting coffee beans and cinnamon sticks and chocolate. Apparently by the end, you are a coffee repairing, coffee making genius and can now go back to the beginning scene again and launch into another mini game, this time repairing the home machine to make your brother a cup of coffee in the morning. These are all things that you only have to do once, and then you can move on. Once you have scene one complete, then you get to move on to your father's ceremony. This time, your mother says she can't get on stage and wants you to make the speech about your dad. You agree and decide you're going to broadcast it on the web as well. The first time through, well, it's a disaster. Phil Connors Jr. is horribly rude and insults most of the people at the event. Then you get to shoot t-shirts into the crowd and get told that you have crushed your mother's feelings and she's walking home alone. Replaying the scene gives you more and more insight and eventually opens up new responses and mini games like trying to finish your father's statue. I love that you get to perfect all of these in-game skills. I was not good at the statue, and after a few times through, the best I could do was this. People were not impressed. But eventually you figure out what to do next and make it through the scene, making everyone fairly happy. At the end of the day, just like the movie, well, you end up gathering to celebrate and realize it's Ned's daughter, your love interest in the game, that needs help in her life too. You make it your mission to help her get her father to invest in her bookstore, help keep her kid out of trouble, and try to impress her with your mad drink-making skills. Ned decided to not invest in the bookstore that Sarah wants to start, and you have to help convince him to help her out. It turns out that it's all about the Ryerson Shuffle. As you deduce the story between talking to Ned and Sarah, you get to do the Ryerson Shuffle with Ned in the cafe, and the first time through, you embarrass him so bad that it ruins his day.
Well, you know I don't embarrass easy. No siree, Bob. But I gotta get going, Junior.
If you dance well enough, though, he realizes there are things more important than a good investment and invests in his daughter's bookstore. You then turn your attention to Sarah's son, who gets into trouble trying to sneak into a concert later in the day, and you have to impress him to get him to listen to you. That means making a sick tag. Just like everything, you were horrible the first time through, but eventually become a spray paint master and wow the kid. Turns out the concert he wants to go to is the same one your niece is going to. They end up going together and even go out to dinner together. This makes Sarah's day, and she finally lets you put your drink-making skills to the test. It took me a while to figure this one out. They have menus that tell you how to make the drinks, and a few flashcards on the bench that help too. You have to figure out what icons go to what bottles, and it really helps when you find the cold drinks in the little refrigerator under the tap as well. You then have to mix to the instructions, and it should be fine, right? Right? No. You also have to figure out what she likes and what she doesn't like and make her a drink with the right ingredients in it. If it's too simple of a drink, it doesn't seem to impress her either, so you need to make one with a few ingredients. Once you get it though, she loves it, and this gives you some more dialogue options. I'm going to stop right there because there are a few more surprises left, and I really don't want to, well, completely ruin the story for you, but because I loved Groundhog Day, I was so happy getting to play through the sequel and find out what happened to Phil Connors after the credits rolled in the original movie. As it turns out, an awful lot. Gameplay-wise, I had a few game-crashing glitches, but nothing too horrible, and when I restarted the game, I didn't see them again. One thing I am a little disappointed about, though, is you never kill yourself. In the movie, Phil kills himself over and over in hopes of ending the loop. I was really hoping that this was going to be part of the game as well, but I haven't seen it. Maybe I missed it somewhere. I'm not sure. There was no saving anyone's life or performing surgery, but it did include a lot of nods to the original and was a great sequel that remained true to its source material. I want to emphasize that there is lots of just watching events play out in this game, and that you really have to be a fan of the original movie, or at least just a fan of time travel and time paradoxes in general. But if you love watching movies, have always wanted a way to participate in that story, and have always wanted a sequel to Groundhog Day, then you're gonna love this game. Groundhog Day, Like Father Like Son, is available right now for the PlayStation VR, Vive, and Oculus Rift. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think we should feature on the program, well, you need to send me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out the podcast, audio and video versions available on iTunes, Google, Spotify, Audio Burst, and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your Weekly Tech Update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax.